is enough said.
What's up, Heat Nation? Happy Monday, guys. Your boy Ernest here, back with another Miami Heat Talk video. Before we get started, you guys would really appreciate the support. Smash that like button. Do not forget to subscribe. Would really appreciate the support. Now, let's rock and roll. Go together on another Miami Heat Talk adventure. Now, I do apologize, you guys, haven't posted a video the last couple days. As you guys know, it was my birthday, my daughter's birthday. We had a great weekend, had a party, had a big thing with family. Man, you know what? I was just living in the moment and being with the family. So I do apologize, you guys, but have no fear. Your boy Ernest is back. Now, things were looking a little bleak. The Miami Heat, little recap, the Heat lost to the Denver Nuggets, got their ass whooped. Jimmy Butler injured his ankle. This is the same thing we see every year. Once there's a little momentum going on, someone gets injured and we start to eat shit. And that's basically what we thought was going to happen. Jimmy gets hurt. Jimmy's out. We're going to go on this losing streak. We're in a road trip. Yesterday, the Miami Heat take on the Minnesota Timberwolves. And y'all, the Heat won. The Miami Heat win last night, 95-94. And the Miami Heat finally defeat the first team in the NBA with a winning record. Yesterday, the Wolves were 6-3, and we all know the T-Wolves, y'all. They're headed by Anthony Edwards. This team went deep to the playoffs last year, so they're definitely a contender. And the Miami Heat defeat them without Jimmy Butler. Big props to the player of the game, Tyler Hero, 26 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, goes 9 for 15 for the field, 4 for 8 from three-point land. One thing we will say, I know a lot of people were bashing Tyler Hero. I know a lot of people, myself included, would prefer that Tyler Hero came off the bench as the sixth man. But one thing I will say about Tyler Hero, to give him his due, he's been the only Heat player that has shown great consistency this season. Tyler Hero, hats off to you. After that, you get a very, very good game by Nikola Jovic. Nikola Jovic, you guys, 23 minutes off the point, 15 points, 7 rebounds, hits the game winner. A game-winning and one to win the game and save the Miami Heat. So, big props to Nikola Jovic. After that, everyone was pretty mediocre. Pretty mediocre. You get 8 points from Duncan Robinson, 3 for 8 for the field, yawn. You get 6 points from Kevin Love, who starts at power forward, plays 13 minutes. 6 points, 6 rebounds, 2 steals. Solid. 33 minutes from Haywood Highsmith, replacing Jimmy Butler in the starting lineup. 7 points, 5 steals. Solid. The one that I like, though, Kel'el Ware. I've been clamoring for Kel'el Ware to get some more time. He gets 9 minutes off the bench, 4 points, 3 blocks, but he's a negative 14 out there. It's showing you that he still needs time to develop and get better. He's not making the right decisions. Yes, he can rebound the hell out of the ball. He didn't get one yesterday, but he can rebound with his lengthy arms. 3 block shots tells you what he does on the defensive end, defending the paint. He's the best in this team at that, but he doesn't make the right plays. So he still needs time to develop, which sucks. You get Jaime Jaquez, 16 minutes off the bench, 7 points. He's coming back from sickness. I will say this, you guys. Terry Rozier also with 11 points, 4 for 8 for the field. 3 steals. That was dope. But this team needs to find an identity. Because right now, what are you? You're 4-5. You're still hovering in contention for the Eastern Conference. You're not one of the worst teams in the NBA. You still have an opportunity to grab reins of this season. But we need to see consistency out there. You have Bam Adebayo yesterday, 39 minutes, 9 points, 7 assists, 7 rebounds, 3 blocks, and a steal. 3 for 11 for the field. Bam Adebayo has been filling up the stat sheet this year. He does every little thing. He's your best complementary player. He can guards 1 through 5. But one thing that Bam has not been consistent with this year is his offense. We saw him in the offseason develop this three-point shot that has been non-existent throughout the regular season. He's not been consistent offensively. The only player on this team, like I mentioned earlier, that's been consistent offensively is Tyler Hero. So the question needs to be asked, you guys, right now with the Miami Heat sitting at a 4-5 record, knowing what they've done against winning teams, knowing what they've done against losing teams, having Jimmy Butler getting injured. Right now, you guys, as far as the Jimmy Butler injury goes, it was reported by Ira Winderman yesterday that he's been dealing with ankle problems throughout the season. That's a red flag. He tweaks the ankle. That's another red flag. You don't know how long he's going to be out for. It's just Jimmy Butler, 35 years old. Most likely it's going to be a few weeks. Can the Heat hold this down without Jimmy? Well, they weren't really holding it down with him. You win a game without him, but let's be honest, you guys, you win this game by 1 point. It's not like Jimmy Butler on this team or not on this team is going to make it better. This isn't going to be a Tyler Hero situation in the 2023 playoffs. Now, if it does, I'll put my foot in my mouth and say we know what the issue is. It's time to go younger. But right now, you guys, the way that the Miami Heat have been playing this season, it's been very mediocre. It's been very mid. So we don't know what we're looking at this season. But I will say this. You need to figure out what your lineups are. I mean, Spo has been juggling these lineups around, and you know what? I'm not going to bash Spo on this and say that he's doing wrong. He's got a lot of talented players. He's got a lot of players on this roster that he can plug and play. And I think he's got a lot of mid players on this team, so you don't really know who's the best one to go with. Some games, Alec Burks is your guy. Some games, Haywood Highsmith is your guy. Some games, Josh Richardson plays. Some games, Josh Richardson doesn't play. It's weird. It's weird. Spo doesn't have a consistent lineup. He was starting Jovic in the beginning of the season. Then he started Kevin Love out of nowhere as the power forward. He started Haywood Highsmith in the second half in one of these games. There's no consistency. That's why I think you're seeing this Heat team struggle, especially offensively. You can't get a rhythm going if you're constantly changing starting lineups. That's the way I feel. There's a lot of great teams in the NBA with a very consistent starting lineup. And these teams are very good teams. I think this is one thing hampering the Heat. I also think that the real starting lineup and the best rotation to go with is probably not the one that's ready. I think Bam Adebayo needs to move to the power forward position. If there's one thing about this season that I'm noticing, I think that Bam is having difficulties in the offense because he has to not only be the best defensive player out there, but he also has to guard the other team's center all the time. So it makes it a little bit difficult for Bam to take the reins offensively. Maybe it's time to move Bam to that power forward position. And hey, don't put Kevin Love at center. Don't put Nikola Jovic at center. Give this kid Kel'el Ware a shot. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But it's not like you're 7-1. I don't think Spo's going to do that, though, because right now the Heat are 4-5. So you need to win games. And if you're putting Kel'el Ware out there as your starting center with Bam, that is a project. And you don't want to have a project when you're trying to win games. So I don't think that's going to happen. But one thing I will say, you guys, a change should be made mid-season. And what sucks is there's been people in Heat Twitter talking about how good Kyle Lowry has been doing for the Sixers and how terrible this team has been without a true starting point guard. And it makes me laugh because that means, man, some Heat fans are never happy. You're pissed off with Kyle Lowry. He lives. Now you miss him and want him back. Like, it's just a funny situation. I'm not saying that's how every Heat fan is. I'm just saying there's certain Heat fans out there that are regretting letting go of Kyle Lowry, and I just think it's funny. Look, I still believe in the decision to trade Terry Rozier for Kyle Lowry was a good one. You just haven't figured this out yet. Or maybe it's just because this team's not gelling together. But I'll be honest, you guys, if the Miami Heat are trying to make a trade mid-season, that's going to be very hard. You're $2 million under the second apron line. You have a lot of players making a lot of money. Now, yes, you do have tradable contracts. Terry Rozier has 2 more years left in his deal. Well, excuse me, 1 more year after this year. Jimmy Butler's on the final year of his contract. Next year is a player option. But to move players like that are making that much money, it's going to be hard. Who do you move them for? You also don't have any draft capital. The Miami Heat don't have a lot of draft picks coming up. I see people saying tank for flag. Well, I mean, the Heat don't own their 2025 pick. So it's not something that you can do. You need to win. You need to win. There's no reason to tank. You got to win. You got to figure this out. So maybe a trade is needed mid-season. Maybe you need to try to find a suitor for Jimmy Butler. Maybe you need to try to find a suitor for Terry Rozier. Or you guys, what I think is going to happen, this Miami Heat team are going to have to just ride it out. Hope for the best. You're 4-5. You still have a shot. You just got to pick the right lineup, be consistent, and hope that Jimmy comes back sooner. Because I know people are pissed off with Jimmy Butler with the seasons he's been having, but I still think Jimmy Butler is great on this team. Yeah, he may not be that 2023 playoff Jimmy anymore, but I still think he has it in him. And I think if this Miami Heat team can get it together, make top 6 by the playoffs, and be fully healthy, I would love to see 1 year with this team fully healthy in the playoff run, just to see what they can do. But to be honest with you guys, I'm starting to think the writing's on the wall. And maybe it's time to look at a new team this offseason. So Heat Nation, I want to hear from you. Let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think it's time to blow this team up? Do you think it's time to move certain players? Build around Bam Adebayo, Tyler Hero, Jaime Jaquez, Khalil Ware, Nikola Jovic. See who you can get next year in the offseason and go from there. Because if you can move Jimmy Butler and Terry Rozier's contract, that's opening up $60 million. So you can get a really good player, max level player. So Heat Nation, I want to hear from you. But before I let you go, and I should have done this in the beginning of the video, you guys, but got a little debut for y'all. Bam! Yeah, buddy, little thing I did over the weekend. As y'all know, I'm in my Dennis Rodman phase, so I got to change it up a little bit. But let me know what y'all think in the comments. Do you think the Heat should blow this team up? Do you think that we should keep it going? Or do you think we're doomed? Let me know in the comments what you think, you guys. Don't forget to like the video. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel. We push into 5,000 subscribers. Hope you like the new hairdo. And for those of you that didn't watch the whole video to see it, guess you have to catch you next time. Until next time, you guys, your boy Ernest out. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And that is enough said. Yeah, buddy.